All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Isaac Inspires. All right, this time we're talking about session view. So, a lot of the videos that we've done have been in something called arrangement view, all right, where you can kind of see the clips, you can see the tracks, you can kind of follow along with what's going on. Session view is used more for DJs or guys that just run loops or drones or whatever it may be. All right, it's a way simpler version of Ableton, but I think it's just as effective for the most part. There are things that you can't do in session view that you can do in arrangement view, but if you just need something live, something quick, something to run, this will do the job. All right, so let's take a look at session view. So session view looks like this. This is what happens when you usually open Ableton, is you end up with a view. It would have more tracks, 2 MIDI, 2 audio, but I'm just cutting it down for now. So session view, these are called clips. All right, so these are all playable. They're all stoppable. All right, and then these are your returns. Let's actually get rid of these for now. And then this is your mains. All right, so these are all playable as well. Now, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna start by just dropping a loop in here. So let's drop this loop in here. All right. So we have this loop playing. Now there are some things to know. Number one, when you drop a loop, it's gonna come in at the original tempo that it was set on. So whatever your tempo was, that's what it's gonna come in at. All right. Now down here, you see the number of times that it has looped around, and you can see a visual meter of how much is left in that clip and how many bars it is. All right. So I'm going to show you something else in a second here and show you the two different views that you're going to see. If you see this come up, that means that your clip is short enough that it's going to auto loop by itself. So you don't have to manually remember to loop it or anything like that. It's going to auto loop. Now, if I go in here, I can see a visual representation of what's happening. All right. Now, if I set this, this is where it's looping from. So if I stop this, once it reaches the end, it's not going to loop anymore. All right. So for some reason, if you wanted to not have that be the case, you can set it there. All right. But in this case, we want that. So, and now most of the tracks here will come auto warped. And the reason that's going to be the case is because you can also adjust the tempo of your tracks automatically. If I come up here and I drag, right? Cool. So now this is set at 116, right? Now let's say we're singing and it's like, all right, let's go a little bit faster. I'm just gonna be dramatic. Oh, okay, we gotta go to 170, 170. Right? You can just type in the tempo that you need. Once you hit enter, it'll adjust it. Now the other way to do this is you could actually come in here and adjust it here as well. Or you could come into your main bus here and you could adjust it here as well. All right. Now, generally, if I'm doing something as simple as loops and I need to make last minute adjustments, I would just use this up here because it makes it easier. But you could use this. And then what you would do here is you would just rename this, let's say 116. That way, you know, if you need to increase it a little bit, you know, what it was set to before. But you can use this for your tempo information. And now I'm going to show you something that's also really cool is I'm going to grab another track. I'm going to grab this praise track here. Oh, that's got to be this one. And I'm going to put it on another line here. Okay. So I have this 6/8 and I have this 130 going. Now, what's really nice is I can play one clip here and also play a clip here. All right. I could do that very easily. So you can play different clips at the same time. And because these are all looped, they will all loop at the same point. All right. Now, whenever you see these plays highlighted, that means that when you hit play, it's going to play the same thing. All right. Now, if I wanted to not do that, then I would have to hit stop. In order to do that, I can hit this stop button at the bottom. So if I hit stop, you'll see this goes away. If I hit stop, you'll see this goes away. And I could do that on the other clips and stuff as well. All right. Now, if I want to, I can put these on the same line. Now, the beautiful part about that, and I'm going to show you a practical example of this, is if I hit the play button on the same line here, let me actually erase this. If I hit the play button on the same line, it's going to play everything that's in that line. All right. So here's the practicality of when you might use that. So let's open up a song. So we're going to open up, bless the Lord here. So we're going to drag here. Now, this is the opposite of arrangement view. So in arrangement view, it comes horizontally, and then you have to hit command or press and hold command to make it vertical. This time it's going to be vertical. If you want to play a song in session view, you're going to have to make it horizontal like this. So press and hold command and then drop it. What you'll see is that these are all now in one line. So what was I talking about earlier? If you hit play on a line, it starts to play everything.
Intro.
All right. Now you can do a lot of the same stuff in arrangement view, in session view, in terms of tempo and pitch information. So I'm going to highlight all these tracks. I'm going to double click. Actually, let me just do it here. And then I'll double click. There we go. And then I'm going to hit warp for everything. Right. So what's going to happen is once I hit warp, it's going to start to warp these tracks individually. All right. So you'll see that all these are warped now. All right. Cool. So now if I want to adjust tempo information, it'll happen automatically.
1, 2.
So
Intro.
Right now, this BPM is supposed to be 110. I have it set to 116. What I would have to do is in my main session here, I'd move it to 110 and then drag it in, right? Because remember, tempo before tracks. Tempo before tracks. Remember that. Now, if I want to increase this, all right. Okay, I can do that. If I want to change the pitch for all these, I can do the same thing with this pitch function.
2. Intro.
All right. So a lot of the same stuff you can do in arrangement view, you can do in session view as well. Now, here's the difference between this one and this one. Remember, I was saying that with session, with these clips, you can see the number of times it's gone around and the number of bars it has. This one, you'll see time here. So when it hits 0 in your time, it's it. That's the song's over, right? It's not going to loop again. It's not going to do any of that. All right. So just keep that in mind. And then what you can do when you want to build songs out in session view is you can say, okay, hey, all my clicks go here. So all the clicks for the different songs you want, you can put in one line. All the drums, put in the same line. So you can create song files horizontally, and then you can just hit play to play. All right. And again, I would adjust the tempo here by using this, and then I would place the tempo of the song here. That way, when I go to play it,
1, 2.
it's correct for that song. But if I need to play, let's say song 1, it's gonna follow the initial tempo if I had set it. I haven't set it, but let's say I want to set it here. Let's say I want to make this 160, 157, whatever. All right. So that tempo is set. Now if I come over here, it's gonna go back to 110. All right. If I come up here, it's gonna go back to whatever tempo I set it to. All right. So if you want to set songs and set tempos, this is the way to do it. This would not be the way to do it. This would only work if you have like certain clips and you just want to increase and decrease and all that stuff. But you want to set all your tempo and key signature information in the main file. That way, when you hit play, it plays what it needs to. All right. So this is session view in a nutshell. It's pretty quick. There's not much to it. Again, you can do send information here. You can control volume information, things like that. Again, to me, it's not as nuanced as arrangement view. Like if I add a return track here, you know, I could send certain things to A, to B, right? Let me just add a few here. All right. I could send some certain things here and here, like we did in the last video, to make sure that things are the way they need to be. And you can also create groups as well. So if I highlight all this, I press Command G, this can all be one group of songs, right? And then I can have multiple groups of songs that are in line. So if I just press play for that group, like I want to minimize this for a second. I know all my songs are here. So if I press this or if I press this, it'll play everything that's in that line. So realistically, I could have, you know, let's say 5 songs, put them on different lines, assign it all to group, and then I'll have 5 different songs that I can choose from. All right, and I can also, I believe I can rename. Oh, maybe I can't. But anyway, so you can have them all in one group if you want that, right? Just like arrangement view. So there are a lot of similarities. Session view, like I said, is a lot easier. This doesn't take a whole lot of time to figure out, and you can play around with things. So if you want a simple, easy to use process, session view is your guy. If you want something more intricate that you can mess around with, arrangement view is your guy. All right. Now I'm going to show you this too. So this pops up in arrangement view because what this is saying is, hey, you have something in session view right now that you can't see in arrangement view. So let's say you wanted to do like a 2-in-1. Like I want my loops in session view that I can go to, right? Let's say, you know, you have a live set, but then like you may have to use a loop that you're not sure if you have to use it, but you may have to use it. You can put that in your session view here and then have your arrangement view here, right? If you press this play button up here, it'll reset everything. So you can play using your arrangement view, right? You can do everything you need to do in arrangement view, you know, and then let's say someone brings up a song, you don't have tracks for it, but you want to run a loop. You come in here to session view, boom, right? Now, the other thing is you can't do both at the same time. That's the other thing. The only way to do that is if you queued it up correctly. So like, let's say you had a song that you wanted to start at 25. So you put the marker at 25 and then you start your loop. Then it'll also start at 25. And you could go about it that way, but that's more complex. You know, I don't really think it's necessary to run it that way, but the option is there if you want to do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's session view in a nutshell. Again, play with it, have some fun with it, see what you can figure out, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned for more videos. More videos are on the way for this playlist, and we're going to conquer Ableton together. All right, so be blessed. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.